Well, good evening, and welcome to Wrasslecast with myself, Pete the Metalhead.
Oh, and myself, Raven, or L4DDarkVampRaven. Hello to you all.
Hi. And, well, in case you didn't hear the last one, this is our second podcast, and we're just going to be going over the last week of wrestling, well, in particular, WWE. I think we'll start off with Raw from the 14th of April. Let's see.
Raw and then Smackdown.
Yeah. Would you care to start off, Raven, or would you like me to take it away?
No, well, I'll take it away because this was the Warrior Tribute Raw, wasn't it? Was this the Warrior Tribute one?
Yes, it was.
It was, yeah. So I had my piece to say about the Warrior in the last video, so I'm not going to say it in this one. But yeah, so they start off Raw saying that it's tribute. They've got everyone on the stage. Obviously, they show a tribute to the Warrior with 10 people, and they ring the bell 10 times, which is fantastic because we didn't see that since Eddie Guerrero. So again, that was brilliant. We get shown that there's going to be an intercontinental title tournament, which I think the first round matches were all going to take place through tonight. I can't remember who the matches were, but we'll go through that later. And then I think the winner goes to face Big E at Extreme Rules, isn't it? I think the winner goes to face Big E. Yep. So we start off with the first round of the Intercontinental title, which is RVD versus Dario. Hang on, excuse me. So this match wasn't actually too bad, considering it. Dario and RVD it was quite fast paced. It was I think there was one or two botches into this when he went to kick him in the back of the head and he kind of didn't hit him.
I remember that now.
Or something, yeah. There was some good solid work, I think, between both men because I think both of them are good workers as it is anyway. Let me just read what else. Other than that, I think RVD hit the win. I think RVD hits the win with Fox Basket. So yeah, so RVD goes through, which I think is more of a better choice than the Dario because obviously it's in the Continental title. So I think RVD winning through the first round was probably the more better idea. So yeah, it was quite a good match to open Raw, I thought. So.
Yeah. Well, as you said, it was the best idea Del Rio didn't go through because they actually pointed out during the match. I think it was Cole. Fucking Cole ruins everything as he always does. Yeah. He's like, Del Rio has never been Intercontinental Champion. I'm like, yeah, but remember that time he was World Champion and WWE Champion? It's like, so...
Yeah, exactly. I just completely undersell him, just like right now. So, yeah.
He's never been the IC champion. It's like, fuck the World Heavyweight and WWE titles.
Yeah, he's never been the main card. He's never been the main event. That's what remember the card, yeah. I mean, as you know, Cole, he's never had the hardcore title or the US title either. So why didn't you spring that out there? So it was a good match to start. I thought it was a good match. It was a bit fast paced, DeVito, I don't know why they're putting him in there. I'm not really sure what they're doing really with him now, really. I mean, they've kind of taken him down off the main event card and they're slicking him in IC title matches and making him versus Big E pretty much nearly every week and RVD. I wouldn't mind a proper RVD Dario feud. That would probably work quite well. So moving on, we'll move on. The first tribute Warrior match is shown was at SummerSlam when he comes out and beats the Honky Tonk Man. I don't really remember a lot on that match. I don't know if you do, so we're just going to skip that.
I've never seen it myself.
No, so they show that. Second match was the Rose Brothers, or Rose, I don't know. Do they call themselves the Rose Brothers or the Rose Family? Or
I don't know. I think it's just easier to refer them that way rather than saying Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
Yeah, so the Rose Brothers versus Curtis Axel and obviously Rybacksel. I think they showed the new music. They've got a new theme together, which is both their themes linked together. I'm not sure if that was on Raw, but I know that was definitely on SmackDown. So this match actually wasn't a too bad one either. Again, it was starting off slow from what I've noted down here. It picked it up halfway through. Again, good work from Goldust and more even work from Cody Rhodes. Towards the end, where are we here? Towards the end, Cody Rhodes went to hit the disaster kick on Axel, which he does. He goes for it on Ryback, and obviously Ryback hits the massive meat hook clothesline in midair, which then obviously gets them the win for now the second time in a row. So
that looked legit painful.
Yeah, it literally did, didn't it? So let's talk about Rybacksel or Curtis Axel and Ryback.
Well, yeah.
Go with win or fail. I'm going to go with fail here, to be honest.
What, you mean fail as a tag team overall? For the whole
yeah, fail as a tag team overall, because only one, when... for two reasons, really. One, Curtis Axel shouldn't be teaming with someone that apparently has been on more warnings than RVD has for weed. Curtis Axel is actually quite talented. He had the power of Paul Heyman behind him, and all they seemed to do is they made him win the IC title. He did fuck all with it for a few months. He lost it, I think he lost it to Big E or someone, I can't really remember.
That he did?
Yeah, they did. And then they basically stuck him and Ryback, and they pretty much did Ryback, as I think was a joke claim between JBL before it actually stuck. I've been pretty much losing nearly every tag team match until last week, so it's like Curtis Axel has so much more. He could be so much more better. Then he should be the one in the Intercontinental title. So,
if anything, you could say he could be perfect.
Yeah, he could be good at it,
Sorry, I had to.
Automatically put a sound in there.
But that's one thing I was gonna remind me. I was gonna ask: are they both Paul Heyman guys still? Because that was never really addressed. They were both like, we're Paul Heyman guys now. And
they're not Paul Heyman guys now anymore. I don't think so. I think there was a backstage segment shown, and anyone in the comments can correct us. I think there was a segment pointed out, a backstage segment saying that Kurt Axel was saying that, or Ryback was saying, I'm not a Paul Heyman guy, and I think Kurt Axel said, no, I'm not either anymore. So I think only Paul Heyman's only with the King of Swing and Brock Lesnar now anymore. So I think so.
You notice when that happened, though, when they supposedly weren't Paul Heyman guys anymore, you notice how he didn't overreact like he did with CM Punk?
Yeah, exactly.
I love you, CM Punk, don't leave me! Then
I love you, and he said,
two guys leave him, and then he's like, who cares?
Yeah, who gives a fuck, yeah. So that match wasn't good, but the ending towards that tag team match was better than the start. You always get the typical tag team, it starts off like, it was like the Americans when they first Cody Rhodes, they picked off slow, but he actually had quite a good ending, so...
Yeah.
First two matches in Raw, it was good. I didn't mark down all of the Warrior tribute stuff they did in it. I know they showed 3 matches, and the rest of it was going to be on the network. but I didn't mark down every point in it. So I just thought I'd mention that now. So, do you want to take us on to match number 3? Did you?
Of course. Paige versus Alicia Fox. I was actually quite surprised at this match because this is basically going to make me sound like a horrible sexist now, but the Divas division, since I've been watching again, it's just
terrible.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the first...
go on.
After you.
No, I was going to say, you're not being sexist. I think even most women will probably admit that the Divas division in WWE is just not really good anymore. We've only got a couple of talented Divas, Paige, AJ, Natalia, people that are showcasing, and then you've got fucking people like Miss Fox and Oksana and the Bellas that are just not talented whatsoever. They're just there just
They're just models who decided to learn a couple of wrestling moves after the fact, where... This match was actually, wow, I mean, it actually felt like, two actual female competitors actually going at it, because Alicia Fox, I mean, it's hard to tell if she was just overselling or if she was really just being a bit too rough with Paige, because she was grabbing her by the hair, fucking flinging her around the ring.
Yeah.
I was like, my God, I'm actually intrigued by a Divas match. What the fuck's going on?
You should... Smackdown's actually one with Oksana was actually kind of better than this one, actually.
Yeah.
It was actually quite good, because Oksana's fucking shit. And do you know why these matches are good? It's because we have Paige. And Paige is actually fucking talented. And if anything, she's making the shit ones. I mean, sure, now that we might as well say this, obviously AJ's taken time off apparently because of the wedding and everything like that. So now Paige is going to go full in Tamina. Obviously, we're now basically going to see probably Paige just do squash matches or be in jobber matches for the next few months. That's why obviously she Fox, this week, obviously Oksana, we're probably going to see her face one of the Bella Twins probably next week. So she's going to be squash matching, but still, she made the Miss Fox match and the match of Smackdown actually looks pretty fucking good. And that's how talented this fucking woman is. And it's annoying because I used to take piss breaks during the Raw matches. Now Matt Paige is on there, I can't go to the toilet anymore. I have to wait for the fucking match. So, yeah, it was. I'm afraid I'm going to have to disagree with you a little bit. I didn't think the matches were really that good. Paige is more or less in control for most of the match, obviously, because Miss Fox is a talented wrestler.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying the match was amazing, but, it's the first Divas match I've actually watched all the way through without, just, doing something else instead.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I get your point, obviously, it felt like, it felt like an actual women's match, yeah, but my thinking, because obviously it's Paige, she's a good wrestler, she's obviously working well with all the other divas and actually making them step up a little bit, and saying, we're not just going to scream and pull our hair and, just lay on the floor and, maybe a boob might pop out, we're not going to do that anymore, So moving on, the match wasn't too bad, so moving on, we go to the Usos versus Orton and Bautista. I think this was this for the titles? I can't remember. Was this the title match or was that last week? I can't remember.
No, I think, this week was the title match. I believe so, because I think the Usos asked for a rematch and whatnot, and then... oh, no, my mistake. I think last week was the title match and this was just a rematch that the Usos wanted.
Yeah. Before this, we did have a backstage segment with Stephanie, and obviously Triple H was saying that Orton and Batista need to work on the same page. They said no. I think this match again started out okay, but obviously got interrupted by the Shield coming down. I think literally the first 7 minutes of the match they came down, interrupted obviously, and the match is disqualified, with obviously Superman punch again being hit on, on Batista by Roman Reigns, which he does that quite well actually. I'm not saying now, Roman Reigns actually does do that Superman punch fucking good, and some people he's done it to have sold that move like really well, so it's like fantastic. So they come down again, the Usos versus Batista and Orton. Or should we just call them Evolution now? I don't really know.
Oh yeah,
we might as well just call them. So yeah, so they had bad matches. They started out okay, but obviously some back and forth stuff. Obviously, Shield comes down, interrupts the match, and then we tend to see I think a segment before the break that says they walking backstage, puff down, Triple H says "Told you so," and then boom, So yeah, so any thoughts? Do you remember that match?
Oh yeah, well, just barely. Like I say, any Orton Batista match, I tend to just kind of fall asleep during. That's been harsh, I guess, but it's just I've never been a fan of Orton Batista at any stage. It's like back in the day, like 10 years ago, before I stopped watching it, and even now, it's like they're good as heels. Well, Orton was good as a heel 10 years ago. Now he's just like
legend killer.
I am a bad guy because that's about it. He's just like I am the bad guy because back then, he was a legend killer. Smacking people about and all that shit.
Yeah,
so the only thing that was memorable for me about the match was the promo before it, mainly because Orton Batista just bloody whispered during the entire thing. You couldn't even, just mumble.
Slow talking or some shit. Oh, God. But yeah, so excuse me. The Usos themselves, again, I'm massive fan of the Usos. I've always been a fan of the Usos. They are talented fuckers. They are probably one of the best tag team on the roster to this day, and a lot of people disagree, but I do. I reckon they look like they have fun, they mess about a bit, but they do work. They do work. They don't mess up a lot. They sell great. They finally got the tag team titles, which I don't know. I still think this day might have been a little bit because CM Punk left, so they made the title change hands on that day. I don't know, but either way, regardless, they earned it, and I'm still happy that they're champions. So yeah. So go on, you move on. What was next?
Mark Henry versus Cesaro, or Antonio Cesaro, but whatever you want to call him. They seem to keep shortening wrestlers' names. He's no longer Antonio; he's just Cesaro.
Or Big E Langston, it's just Big E, which just sounds like an innuendo in itself, really.
But, just call Mark Henry just Henry,
Yeah, exactly. I'll call the Usos, just call them the O's, Oh my God, here come the O's. It's like, what the fuck? So, or just Ryback, just the back, or just the right, So, I could go on for ages when we're going to. So this was the second match in the Intercontinental title tournament. Cesaro versus Mark Henry. Do you want to start talking about this match, or do you want me?
No, I can go. What can I say? Mark Henry, the world's strongest man and whatnot.
The match was short.
Not a big fan of his matches, to be honest, but, because I loved when he was a comical guy back in the day, but now he's just, a Mark Henry, deal with it. Well, that's Batista's thing, isn't it? Sorry, but you know what I mean. It was short and sweet. He put Cesaro over and whatnot, and he did the neutralizer this time. I remembered his finisher this time.
And obviously he gets the win. So it was. I can agree with much what you're saying. It was a short match. It started out with Henry dominating Cesaro, basically, pushing him around, Paul Heyman going, "You've got this, you've got this." And we had a funny Paul Heyman segment coming up on Smackdown, which I'm going to talk about. Obviously, Cesaro coming back with some uppercuts again, more and more ones, and then he gets the momentum, comes up, boom, with one, human strong uppercut, and then I think then hits the neutralizer. I don't think he swung him. He didn't swing him, did he? He didn't swing him? I don't think he did he?
No, I've not seen the big swing for a few weeks now. It's getting worrying.
Yeah, no, exactly. Even though he's calling him the king of swing as well, which is a bit odd. So
maybe that's it. Maybe he's saving it for next. He's going to do it on the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true. So moving on. I don't know if there's any more Warrior matches. Like I said, there was 3 Warrior matches shown. I think one with Hogan, one with Honky Tonk Man, and I think the other one, I can't remember who the other one was. So sorry, Warrior, I can't honestly. I know the show was to be due to him, but I can't. I know they only showed 3 matches, and that was it. And then apparently the rest of it was going to be on the network.
Oh yeah. So then there was a promo backstage again, and holy shit, Brad Maddox seems to phase into existence again after 3 months of just being nowhere.
Oh yeah, that's true. And they say that the Shield have got a match. I think this is in the one, isn't it? Yeah, well, they got a match in the main event, and then Brad says, "Do you want me to tell them who they are?" And then Stephanie goes, "No." So you obviously the mystery. Yeah, this got me obviously pondering before I knew what was happening, who they were going to face, because most of all the rest has been used anyway. So I was thinking, well, who the fuck are they going to face? You know, I mean, are they just going to bring like no word of a lie? I did think, are they just going to bring pretty much everyone to the ring? No word, but I did actually think that, considering what actually happened. So we move on to, I think, was it the debut of Alexander Rusev?
No, because he had the match the previous week with what's his name, Zack Ryder.
Oh yeah, is that right? So this was was that on Raw? That was on Raw, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
So this is him versus Xavier Woods. Very short match, pretty much. Basically, Rusev did his normal thing, super kick. Hello?
Aye, yeah, I think it was about 2 minutes long, something like
that. Yeah, it was a very short match. Russo basically super kicks, a few literally powerful slams, puts him in the camel clutch. I can't remember what Michael Cole calls it, but it is a camel clutch.
Puts him in the camel clutch, breaks his back, fucks his ass, and makes him humble.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, like two Iron Sheik style. Truth comes in after the match, tries to save Wood. The woman, I can't remember Rusev's woman manager, the woman that, I can't remember her name. She stops him, then makes him go afterwards, and then basically destroys both of them in literally a couple of seconds. So again, good wrestler. Alexander Rusev is impressed me over the last 3 matches I've seen. I do think he should be higher. I'm hoping he won't just keep doing jobber matches. I'm hoping he gets up. I would like to see him versus even Kane or Cody Kingston or Cesaro at some point. Go up against definitely more talented people, you know. But that's what they do. They basically jobber them, don't they? Really. So, you have anything to say on this? I know it was a short match. So.
Yeah, I couldn't enjoy Rusev just because it was a second squash match, and this one was even shorter. It was just like done with, and like. I mean, he's when we get to it eventually, the one he did on Smackdown, I enjoyed a lot better because it actually lasted, I think, twice as long, so a whole 4 minutes. But we'll get to that later.
That was more better. If he needs better work. He's great. He's a great worker. He's an amazing worker, I think, in my eyes. But he needs someone that can hold the candle to him as well. So he needs like a decent 10-minute match against Kofi or I don't know, maybe not Kane. Or someone up there in that region. You know what I mean? So yeah. So we move on again to another Intercontinental title match. We see Sheamus versus Jack Swagger. I was 50-50 on this. It's Sheamus, in my opinion, has been boring me for months now. He needs something decent thrown in there, and now Swagger's out there with Americans again. So this to me was like two talented people, but again, I'm not really big fans of them. So. But yeah, I've written down there the match started out slow, the ending was better than the start, it was slow to move, Sheamus dominating obviously most of the match because that's what he does. Swagger coming back, I think he did a power slam outside the ring as well, which actually looked like quite painful. I can't remember if obviously Zeb was with him. Swagger puts in the ankle lock too, wasn't long enough for Sheamus, basically out of nowhere, boom, bro kick, and obviously gets the win. So you can talk about this one because I just didn't really like this one, to be honest.
Well, the problem is we're going through was it the quarterfinals of the fucking tournament, and the quarterfinals are always boring. They're just the first few preliminary matches. The interesting ones are going to be next week with the semi.
Yeah,
next week's quarterfinals. This is.
This is just the start round.
Is this the eighth finals?
This is just the starting round. Anyway, it wasn't bad. I think Swagger generally is quite an okay talented wrestler, but again, he just needs the right. I don't know. I just feel like he needs the right angle. Sheamus again. I don't know why he's going after the IC title. He's more of a world champion. So again, I think they're just sticking him in there just to do something or just get him on the card. So, but he has been boring the crap out of me for a while. So, which is my opinion.
The most interesting part of the match I found was when they randomly cut back to Big E in the locker room. It's such an awkward angle. You know, he seems to be standing I don't know, good 90 degrees. His body's standing at 90 degrees, not facing the telly, but his head's facing the telly. You know, just so he can get a shot. Yeah. And then he's just it's like the first one. He's rubbing his belt. You know, like the Precious. Yeah, it made me laugh my ass off just so much. And then. I think in the later match as well, there's another one where he's just there. It's just like he stood there rubbing his chin like he's strategizing or something, and he just looks really dumb doing it. But that's not to say, I like Big E and whatnot. It's just that particular whoever set that up was just, I think it was some bad call on their part.
So we move on to kind of what was, I don't know what this was, I thought this was going to be around, so we move on to Jobber Sandow, because that's what he is now, and sadly saying, huge Sandow fan, but basically he's now basically jobbing. So he's in the ring, he's on the mic, he's basically saying that everyone should like him, or that he's the future WWE, and that he could be everyone.
His attempt to break out of the job zone.
Attempted to go back to a little old school Cesaro. We see Big Show come down. He keeps talking while Big Show's coming down, which is a little bit more funny. Big Show, I was assuming they were going to have a match, but obviously he didn't. But as soon as he got in the corner, you knew exactly what was going to come. I don't think I need to say it. More talking, and he ends up punching him. So yeah, he ends up knocking out Sandow. I don't know whether that's leading to a match at Extreme Rules, or whether it's just, again, getting them on the card just for the Warrior's sake, and just basically using everyone to the degree. I don't know.
Well, I think, what was it? I mean, it was so predictable what was going to happen. It was just like, yeah, I'm trying to break out the job zone, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, it hadn't even, like, started or finished or whatever. You know, like, he's just doing the talk, and what I did, I took a note for the match, you know, for the podcast today. And before Big Show, you know, before that even started, I said, Big Show squashes him. There we go.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, that's exactly what happened. I was like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, I thought we was going to have a match. I actually wrote down, like, 8th match, you know, ready, and Big Show comes down, he keeps talking, and everyone thinks what's coming, and everyone can see what's coming, and it does. Big Show punches him. So, yeah, because he gets up in his shit. So whether that's going to lead to a feud, I don't fucking know. So let's move on to another amazing Wyatt. I think the Wyatt promo was next, and I think this is where they make the Extreme Rules match. So the Wyatt family comes out, Bro cuts a promo about how about how weak Cena is and still better than he is, and I think even making comments about saying, "Don't worry, I will save you, children," and stuff like that. It's just amazing. Bray Wyatt's promo skills are just fucking amazing. I don't know how he does it. I don't know what mental state he gets himself into, or does he write all this down before? How many outtakes does he have before he writes the full definition? I honestly don't know. So he goes on about saving the kids from Cena's lies. And then Bray tells Cena, but obviously Bray says he knows that Cena's in the ring, tells him to come out, and of course Cena does. You know, so he comes out.
Yeah, and then Cena pulls out of his ass random Photoshop jokes of
random Photoshop jokes, and he actually used the word, and I'm going to say this, he actually used the word quote MySpace. He used the word. I went through Bray Wyatt's MySpace. I don't know if he meant to say that over Facebook. I don't know if Cena's very aware.
It was obvious joke because Bray Wyatt's the character of being like someone who lives in the woods or something like that. You know.
Oh yeah, I suppose it's true.
So he's just saying you're so outdated. You use MySpace.
I suppose that's good. Okay, I thought he might have been a bit confused about what was. I wasn't sure if he was aware that that's not really in anymore. So yeah, as Pete says, Cena shows all these photos. They found like Sister Abigail and Bray Wyatt's mother, and they have just basically the Wyatt photoshopped onto babies. And it was quite humorous. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of giggled a little bit. It was kind of humorous.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it was humorous, and some people could say, "Oh, that kind of detracts from the thing," but that's what made. Because every time they cut to the Wyatts in the ring, they just stood there, dead silence, and it's just like. It was like, it's like, some people could say this is stupid or whatever, but you can see that, they were just building up the thing, just dead silence there, and then, like, when then he finally interjects in, it's like, you think you're running, John, da da da. It's like, oh yes, Bray, bring it, fucking bring it.
Yeah, so Bray laughs here, he's acting very weird about it, and I love how when he shows Eric Roman one, and Cena says more, thank you. So I just get in. My wife's giving me some water. Go, woman, go. Anyway. So when he goes on to Rowan, because he mocks their names, when he shows the photo of Eric Rowan, all he does is like kind of tilt his head even in the sheet mask and just think like, you can't see any facial expression whatsoever. Just a tilt head with a sheet mask, just like Kane used to do. So Cena goes on, he rages, he says, I want to face you, Bray, at Extreme Rules. In a cage match. Now I was expecting fucking slightly better to come out than that. I was expecting a last man standing. I was expecting like a a 3 stages of hell match, a triple table match, a fucking, let's get the best photoshops of our mum naked match. I don't know. I was expecting something better than the cage. I'm not saying that match isn't going to be good, but cage matches nowadays haven't exactly had their edge compared to what they did, years ago, back when Hardy Boys hit Edge off the top of the cage at Unforgiven in 2000, so there we go. So Bray obviously says, I like the idea, and I can't remember anything after that, and he just ends after that, doesn't it? After he says, I like the idea.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, that's them on for Extreme Rules. I'm trying to actually think myself, when was the last time they had a steel cage match? I think it was all?
They had...
Oh no, they had them...
They had one on Raw, didn't they? I'm sure they had a tag team one on Raw with the Outlaws, I think. I don't know if the Outlaws... I'm assuming the Outlaws are gone now, but they did have one with the Outlaws on the special Raw or something.
I completely forgot about that. Oh yeah, because then Cody Rhodes tries to do a backflip off the cage and Raw Dog just completely fucking misses catching him with that.
Yeah. I was like, love you, thank you. Yeah, exactly. He does that. Cody does that amazing moonsault off the cage, and Road Dogg basically doesn't catch him. Well, near enough doesn't catch him. So yeah. So we move on again to a match which has been doing over and over and over and over and over again. It's, you guessed it, it's obviously going to be Santino and Emma versus Fandango and Layla. I actually put in the notes, I'm not even going to comment on this, so go on, you can take this one away, because I don't care about this.
Okay, here's my comment. So right after that match, there's a promo with Kane and Stephanie McMahon backstage.
Yeah. So basically it ends with Layla pulling Emma from the turnbuckle on the second rope and getting the pin. There was a few little moves, hip toss and that, and then he gets out the Cobra. Something happens to Cobra, boom, it wins. There we go, it's over. So there you go. So yeah,
it's like why can't those two just stick in the job zone, instead of Sandown?
Well, it's fucking annoying me because one, I actually like Fandango, and he's actually not. He's not a bad wrestler. But when he first came in, when he had the match against Chris Jericho, he wasn't actually a bad wrestler. If he had the right direction and the right work on him with the building, he could actually be a lot higher than what he is. And Santino, well, I think for now he's always going to be a jobber realistically. So, but you get paid per show you're at. So, jobbing or not, you still get money. Yeah, that's how they get paid. They get paid basically per show they're booked at. So, for wrestlers not on a show, I don't think they get paid. I could be wrong on that. Feel free to rage at me if that's not how anybody listened to a podcast of someone who used to work in WWE and they said that's how they get paid. They're paid per show they're booked on. So there we go. So we move on to what he just mentioned was we see a backstage segment of Stephanie yelling at Kane and she's saying, "You failed to do this." Basically turning straight into her dad, what he used to do, like to Stone Cold and that. So 2 elements of her dad came out of her. That sounded wrong. Well, that really sounded bad. So saying you didn't take care of Daniel Bryan, you didn't take care of everything else. It shows the mask in the case. Kane goes over it, looks at it for about what feels like 20 minutes. He looks at it thinking, that's not my mask, so he picks it up, gets it out, says, "Next week I'm going to obliterate Daniel Bryan," or whatever. So I'm assuming, could this be setting up a match at Extreme Rules between these two? Could we see maybe an all-out hug, a hug match or something? Are we gonna? Do you think this is setting up Extreme Rules match, or maybe not?
I don't know, because that's what I thought it might have been at first, or at least for the next week or two. But then because as we'll go on to next, the next part is obviously Triple H. Orton and Batista are not in the title picture at Extreme Rules. We know that for a fact now, so it could be Kane. But I've heard some stuff like apparently Brock Lesnar versus Bryan is going to be in the works in the future. I don't know if they meant at Extreme Rules or just like in the works, in months to come.
We need to have a big section here while you're editing. Dirt sheet alerts or dirt sheet incoming, because clearly that's what they are really. So I'll be disappointed if you do not put that in. So, but yeah, I did read they would do something with Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules or him. Apparently it's going to be him and Batista at Extreme Rules, which I'm clear that's not going to happen now. So it shouldn't go to show whatever you read on the net isn't always true unless you read it about chimps. So I thought that was good. I thought that was powerful. It's good to see Kane. I don't know what that means. People saying he's going to come back as the old style Kane, which we know is bollocks. He's going to start wearing the mask again. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because this whole shindig of him being the corporate Kane, and that was so weird. I mean, it turned out to be not terrible because I kind of got used to it after his businessman look for a couple of weeks, and then I got used to it. Like, oh yeah, he's still a bad guy and whatnot, Now he's just part of the new corporation, as I call it.
Yeah, I personally liked it. When Kane took off the mask and gave it to Stephanie, I thought it was good, you know? I mean, I was disappointed maybe Kane was just taking time off from wrestling. It was a little bit disappointing, but it was good. I actually enjoyed it. You know? It was giving Kane something to do. I was lose every week, because he was actually winning before he did that. You know, he was losing quite a lot, so it kept him active. So yeah, shall we move on? Yep. Move on to another Intercontinental title tournament match, which I think is probably the last one of the night. I'm not really too sure. This was the 9th match now. We've got Bad News Barrett versus Dolph Ziggler. I think, again, he said on the mic, I've got some bad news for you. Now, this match I actually found kind of boring and a wee bit slow. A lot of people, I read on my mate's Facebook, John, he said that the match was quite good. Well, I didn't think it was. I thought it was quite slow. It basically ended with, again, it sucks really, because I knew Barrett was going through anyway, but again, Dolph Ziggler's another favourite of mine. Just to see him pressed under the thumb and not really going in there, considering he won the world title just a couple of years or months back, you know. So Barrett dominates most of the match. Ziggler came back. What was a solid match? It was not a bad one, and then it was ended with basically what I thought was a brutal ball hammer elbow. He hit him so hard with that elbow.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's selling. It's like, you know what Ziggler's like, and he's selling, but it didn't look like amazingly fixed. What do you think? Do you think okay, boring, slow?
I thought it was a good match. Not a fantastic one, not a shit one. I just thought, to tie off the first round of this IC tournament, I thought it was a good way to go. I mean, was it? Well, I like this idea of the whole IC title tournament, because it's just, you know, this whole, because I only found out about the rejoining of the brands from 2011, like a few months back, you see. So I was wondering, like, why the fuck is the world champion on Raw now and shit, and then find out about the brand separations no longer existed. So it's just like, well, hang on, why have we got the world and the WWE heavyweight title and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And, now they've done the consolidation of that and whatnot, and then the IC title was still just mulling around in limbo for a few months, and then finally now, I think now WrestleMania's over, they're going to focus on making that look like a good mid-card belt rather than... And I think that's, like I said, the tournament's a good way to do that, you know, just make it actually look like it's an important kind of thing that people want to try and get hold of.
Yeah, well, I think what you're looking for there, realistically, is bringing back kind of the importance or the stability of the meaningfulness of the IC title, because it used to mean something back in the day, you know, when Val Venis was Intercontinental Champion, when Rikishi was, when Bob Buchanan was, but nowadays it doesn't really mean anything anymore. It just seems like they have these two belts for the mid-carders, and they don't really do anything with it. Okay, they gave it to Wade Barrett, and that went fucking amazingly wrong. They gave it to Curtis Axel again, that amazingly failed. And now they get into Big E, which I'm kind of okay with that. I would just like meaning to it. And now the US title's even worse. They gave it to Dean Ambrose at first, which was, that's fantastic. And he's held it for like near enough a year now, isn't it? Ben, he's held it for fucking a while.
Wasn't that like the Smackdown equivalent of the IC belts in their ranks and whatnot?
Pretty much,
no, it's basically as pointless as the European title.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty much what it's become. It's the new European title.
Yeah, the European title actually held up, I thought, a lot better than the US title did. But yeah, the European title was pretty much like it has classic values, but it doesn't at the same time. It's like, if you're a European champion, like, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god, William Regal won the European title. Who the care? Maybe because maybe it used the word European in it. Maybe that's why it meant something. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when Shawn Michaels was the WWF champion and the European champion. Damn, that was some hardcore stuff. That
really was.
I mean, it was the WWF champion, but the European champion as well. I mean, that was. Heartbreak Kid didn't happen until that moment when he had the European title.
I know, it's just...
I think I've just broken your sarcasm thing again, haven't I?
Yeah. Boom. Alright, new one. Alright, Amazon. There we go. Yeah, I mean, as I said, the US title it came from WCW originally. It wasn't a bad title then until John Cena became basically the champion with it, and then turned into a spinner, and then Carlito came straight in, won the US title, and he's pretty much, I think it was his first match on Raw. He won the title straight away, I think, by using John Cena's chain. But again, European title didn't have much meaning back then. It was just a belt. It kind of I don't know, really. I can't really explain it. When I think about it, I don't think, like, let's think of all the classic European champions, William Regal and that, and, I don't even really use it on my WWE 2K14 game, I use quite a lot of the old belts, but I don't use that one.
Yeah.
I leave that one well out of the way, so, which is, I don't know, so, but, no, I don't tend to use it all. But you are right, I would like to see Meaning coming back to both belts. There was a dirt sheet alert coming in. There was a rumour that they were going to fuse both the US and the IC title together. That's what they rumoured that was going to happen, but that was at WrestleMania. Makes sense, but also makes complete horrible sense, and I hope the fuck they don't ever do that. So, anyway, let's move on to our main event of the Warrior Tribute Raw. By then, every Warrior match has been shown, I think, and some stuff on the WWE Network. So we come down to the Shield. Shield come out again sporting the new masks that they've got, the new kind of what would you call it, balaclavas or something? New kind of
I don't know, urban spray painters, kind of, diddly over the hoods and then, the bandanas on the faces.
Yeah, what he said, yeah. So they had that, which looked quite good, and you can now buy them off www.shop.com.
Are they paying you for that?
No, they're not. I
was going to say, I didn't get it. I didn't contact me to, plug stuff for them. God damn it.
Well, if I get paid to plug stuff for them, I'll go outside and build huge bangers and charge everyone in the fucking streets, I'd probably get arrested for harassment. So they come out, she'll come out and they're wondering, I'm wondering, you're wondering, fucking everyone's wondering who the fuck they're going to face. So Del Rio comes out and they thought, okay, that's a bit weird. And then another team comes out and then more come out and then you start realising, okay, now obviously we're going to get the entire roster versus the Shield. So we get 11...
The 11-man band.
11 man, yeah, 11... We get 11... Sorry, hang on, my water went down the wrong way. We get 11 people versus the Shield. Now, instantly I thought that this match wasn't even going to take place. I thought they were just going to all beat down the Shield. It was going to be a DQ. But it actually wasn't actually a bad match, considering. It was doing quite well, actually, with the Shield kind of... working their way out, and then, and then it lasted about a few minutes before, obviously, one of them was thrown to the outside, Dean Ambrose jumps on them, and then Seth Rollins jumps on them, and then the whole of them, they all start attacking, and then obviously the match ends in DQ, obviously.
Yeah, that pissed me off, that. It's just they run out, and then, nobody used a weapon or anything, they just, start hitting each other outside, and literally 3 seconds after that, the ref just calls for a DQ, and it's what?
Here's how it happens, pretty much. So we had a proper match, pretty much, for at least about 6-7 minutes of the actual match.
Yeah. Apart from that, it was a good match.
Yeah, Roman hits a spear on someone, and they all jump down. Dean jumps on them. Seth basically jumps on them, and the people at the back, even though he doesn't even touch, but they're just going to fall down anyway. So, my script tells me to fall down, even though he didn't touch me, so they just fall down anyway. So they do that. They're taking control. The Shield are getting beaten and battered, and that's when you hear it.
Evolution is a mystery.
So you hear Evolution's music, and right away I hit up like a fucking a kid to cocaine or kid on Christmas. I went no fucking way, even though the inner part of me said, oh come on Raven, you knew that was going to happen. You knew that was coming. You read that online. You read reports that this was going to happen. So Evolution's music here. They didn't show a video. They just showed literally a Titantron. I'm assuming. I don't know if they're going to be including Ric Flair or not, but Evolution's music's here. I was like, it shocked me. I knew it was coming, but it shocked me. And then we see Triple H and Orton and Bautista come down while the group is still attacking. Triple H calls them off, but he says, kind of back away, let us do this. And then pretty much Evolution take care of them. They hit Batista bombs on all of them, a pedigree in Roman Reigns, and then you hear Triple H say, believe in evolution. And they do the hand thing. And that's how it ends. We're good fucking Raw. We're a good end to Raw. One thing I was a little bit pissed off about, there was, also not a little bit pissed off, but, I forgot. No, never mind, I forgot what I was going to say. Fuck it. But, I don't know, it's bringing back evolution, really, what's best for business, really, here. I think it is, yeah.
I think it definitely is for the short term. If it lasts anything longer than a couple of months, then maybe not.
Again, sorry, No, go on. After you, sir.
We're just too polite, too very British.
Too very British, yeah. Again, Dutch Shield incoming. I read that Batista's not staying he's staying to Extreme Rules and he's fucking off apparently. And he's leaving or he's going on break. That's what I've read. I don't know if it's true.
Well, it's just because I remember CM Punk himself saying that Batista signed a 2-year deal.
Yeah. Has he been in for 2 years? I think he has. I mean, no, of course he hasn't. No, yeah, he's signed a 2-year deal.
Unless he's going away for a couple of months, coming back, something like that.
He might be taking leave, I don't know, but if they're just bringing back Evolution, you'd think that's a big thing, wouldn't you? So why Batista means he's fucking off in, I think Extreme Rules is obviously in May, so it gives him about 3 weeks before he pisses off. So,
well then again, you read that on the dirt sheet, didn't you? So, fair enough.
Yeah, not really a dirt sheet. Something has been circling Facebook circles in there apparently that he's going after Extreme Rules. Apparently he's not been booked for any matches after Extreme Rules. He's not been booked for London or anything like that. Which I am going to Raw in London. Yeah. You might see me and the wife on TV. You probably won't because we're in the middle. So yeah, there we go.
What date is that? Just so I can keep my eyes peeled for you.
May 19th. May 19th. Yeah.
Oh god, not May 19th.
Oh, May 19th. Yeah, we're in. I don't know, man. If I took we were quite close last year. If I took a sign with your name on it and the word CUNT, they probably wouldn't let me say that. But if I took something like an obvious sign, you might be able to see it. So, but yeah. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. Really, I don't know how I'm going to do the podcast. If I'm going to have to literally take notes at the live event. I'm going to have to get a pen and paper and write shit down. So anyway, back to Evolution. So Evolution comes back to take care of the Shield because obviously Triple H wanted them to stand together to take out obviously the most dominant team in the thing. Now, straight away, I think this is a good thing. It's good to see Evolution back again. It's good in a sort of way because it gives Randy Orton and Batista something to do. It keeps them both at the title pictures, at least, so that's not too bad as well. So, but are we going to see Ric Flair get involved in this one or not? I don't think we probably will. I'd like to see Ric Flair get involved in this one, but even if he was just a manager, realistically, so...
I reckon they'll probably do at least one bit, maybe he'll come, because he's been involved quite a lot in the past few months, mainly just on stuff related to WrestleMania and whatnot, and the old school Raw, but I mean, they've got to just put in one segment. They'll meet 1 week, he's just on a guest appearance on Raw, and they're just hey guys, got the band back together or something. Just have a maybe not comedy with it, but you know what I mean. Just have a little nod to the old school and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, it's good because it shows that. I like the whole authority thing, and it's good to see that Triple H had to bring back Evolution to take care of the Shield. Yeah. So they're bringing back another great team to take out another great team, and that's all. Now, I was a big Evolution fan when I was younger. When I watched it, I liked it all. It was all good back then. Like I said, it's probably only going to be a candle on the flame for only a couple of weeks. It's not going to obviously go for months, I don't think, but it is good. And now, unless you've got anything more to say on that match,
I just realised it's a good point. I said about Ric Flair coming back for one segment. I realise they can't do that because it's PG. Ric Flair does a segment backstage and was hey guys, fucking blades instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, just trying to drink a soda or something. The cup on the head, fucking start bleeding.
Bleeding, just try to go to the toilet, comes, oh my god, I'm bleeding again, and gets fine, and then it would be nice to see him. It's not Evolution without Ric Flair, realistically. I don't know if he's back on drinking again. I don't know if he's on two toes with WWE again. I know he was on Old School Raw, I think he was, so I'm pretty sure Triple H, or Paul, but we're going to call him Triple H, has had words with Ric Flair about this is what we're doing, would you want to come? We might see him next week, I don't know, but it would be nice to see you. So, you got anything more to say on that? Anything more?
Well, no, it's Evolution. They were
more in general?
No, not much about Evolution, but in general, it was a pretty solid Raw. Nothing insanely made. Well, apart from B+. But no. I mean, there was no serious standout moments apart from the last 30 minutes with the Kane mask rebirth and Evolution,
and the whole,
which was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It was an Evolution came back. So before we move on to SmackDown, I would say that was good. I respected it. Thank you WWE for doing that in Warrior's name. That was good. Doing the bell toll was nice, was lovely. The tribute was nice. Seeing the matches was good. We could have a little bit more of Warrior stuff involved realistically, maybe like a few backstage segments or something, but obviously the show has to go on, no offense to the Warrior, and we had loads of people wearing t-shirts and masks and and stuff like that. So we move on to no, go on.
No, so sweet.
That's too sweet. Yeah, so we move on to Smackdown, the 18th of the 4th, 2014. So I actually watched this on Sky yesterday. I had a mate over to watch it. I usually record it and watch it that way. Good, but it's not
like a motherfucker today, sir.
I know, man. It's just I'm drinking water, so if I'm talking a lot to keep it, what you should do. But yeah.
Oh, water, yeah. Coke. Anyway, back to Smackdown. We'll talk about more burping later on.
So we start out with what was probably the best match of the actual night. We start out with Big E Langston into Del Rio. And one thing I actually will say before we move on, when it was the last time we actually saw a proper Raw intro, like the actual 20-minute intro? They just don't do that anymore, do they? SmackDown used to have it quite a bit, but we have not seen a Raw intro. Comments below, when was the last time we saw a proper Raw intro, other than old school Raw? I don't think we even saw one for that one, but when was the last time? Because I can't think when the last time we saw a proper one. I'm thinking Raw 2000 or 1000, was the last time we actually saw a proper one. It's a shame, really, because they made a big deal out of the theme song, getting them a new theme and everything, and they just haven't shown it, have they? So, yeah, anyway. So it starts out with Big E and Del Rio. This was actually quite a good match. Now, Del Rio and Big E have done matches in the past before. It wasn't so bad. We have, again, good work from Big E, solid work from Del Rio and Big E, because Big E, again, is a good wrestler. He's a solid worker, and so is Del Rio. So we have the typical back and forth. Del Rio, again, going for the arm locks and stuff like that. He goes for it in mid-match, Del Rio being moobish as he is. He breaks out of it and stuff like that. So he keeps going for it. A few Del Rio kicks to the back of the head and stuff like that. And then the match actually ended in DQ, and this is what actually kind of annoyed me. Del Rio had the arm breaker in, Big E hit to the ropes, and the ref got to 5, and then Del Rio basically broke after 5, but the ref rang the bell. So I was a bit confused. I know that obviously this was planned, but usually I think you've got until 5, and then pretty much if they're still holding on 5, if they go to 6, then they break it. But so I was a bit confused, because if you watch the video back, he had it at 5, then he broke it, but apparently he still got disqualified. So Del Rio gets disqualified for basically holding an arm breaker, attacks Big E after the match, goes for the devastating kick, what he usually does, counters up, boom, big ending, and then, yeah. So again, I was thinking that could set up a match for Extreme Rules, but obviously it can't. And then, maybe Del Rio was trying to work down the arm or get into positioning, because Big E's obviously got this big championship match coming up, Extreme Rules, so maybe he's trying to work him down and damage him. So I thought on the whole it wasn't a bad match. I thought it was probably the best match of the night, actually, to be honest. What about you?
Oh yeah, I was quite surprised that the opening match for SmackDown was actually quite good.
Yeah.
Like you said, I've never been a fan of Del Rio. I've never disliked him either. He's never clicked for me.
You heartless bastard.
He's neither here nor there for me. I don't dislike him, don't like him. But I must admit, he was putting over Big E really fucking well in that match. Because I've seen a lot of Big E matches where he just fucking pounds on people, and they just. It usually ends up in like somebody gets a busted eye or something like that. But Del Rio worked him really well, and made Big E look really good without Big E actually decimating somebody properly.
This is why I thought it was a good match, because in my opinion I think Big E Langston is actually a good wrestler. I think he is. He works well. He does solid work. He pulls things off well. In the moves he pulls off, his finish is good and everything. Del Rio I haven't really liked since he was with Ricardo Rodriguez. That's when I actually enjoyed him. But now he hasn't got Ricardo, I kind of feel him a bit. He's a bit stale. He's a bit slated. He's a bit like. He's a bit like Sheamus, really. He's a bit like, oh well, we need him to do something. Let's just sling him in a match and for the sake of it and have him win, something like that. So he's a little bit slated. So moving on, we see Triple H comes out. He reminds us obviously of what happened to the Shield and Raw and Evolution coming back and what they did to them. He just talks more, and ironically towards the end of the match he kind of rests the microphone actually on his chin while he's talking, which was actually quite hilarious to me. And then he books a match Extreme Rules for the Shield versus Evolution. Obviously, everyone knew this was going to happen anyway. He doesn't say what type of match it is. There's no stipulation. Just says it's a boxing match. I wanted. Yeah, I mean, if it's just going to be just a normal match, that's going to annoy me because Extreme Rules, there's usually a match at every stipulation. So if it's just going to be a normal, I'm assuming it might be contested under Extreme Rules like situation, just a normal hardcore match. So that's what I think it might be, contested under. Probably not. So what do you think? What would you like to see, like Shield versus Evolution?
Well, I'm just trying to think what kind of speciality matches can you put in a 6-man tag. A good obvious one would be a table match or something like that.
Yeah, a table match, but I think that'll probably go to Intercontinental. Yeah, I suppose there's not many, is it, really, when you think about it? Can't have a cage match because we've got that. Hell in the Cell will be too brutal. Can't do Last Man Standing. Can't do Iron Man.
Definitely can't do ladder match.
Can't do ladder match, Can't do the Ric Flair comes back, goes woo and disappears match. I'm assuming it'll just be contested under Extreme Rules. I reckon that's probably what it will be. He doesn't mention the stipulation, but he just says it's going to happen. So already my trousers have already tightened by this point because, for one, wow, something on Smackdown was making me, pitch faster than a person camping, and two, obviously, that match probably will be the match of the night. So we've got 2 matches now booked for Extreme Rules. Both of them look okay. I think there is a Diva one got leaked out on WWE as well, which I won't say. So we move on. What do we move on to, Mr. Donnelly?
Hang on. Right after Triple H promo and the... Oh, sorry, I've just remembered. You notice, during that Triple H promo, he says he's brought Evolution back.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the single most destructive force in the WWE, and I was like, what, Brothers of Destruction?
Yeah, exactly.
I was just like, you guys are never in the Brothers of Destruction. Sorry, that's just my old school stupid joke, sorry. But yeah, back to the serious conversation. So right after that we get a Paul Heyman promo. And it was both good and annoying at the same time because he keeps hammering home. It's like he just starts saying,
"My client, Brock Lesnar, beat the streak." I was like, wasn't it? Yeah, my client.
Says it fucking 500 times.
Says it 500. My client, Brock Lesnar, beat the streak. Yes, he gets on his knees and says,
he's getting real heat off the audience as well. And then, for the first 10 times, then the other 12 times he says it. It's just like, okay, you've got the heat now, Paul. Just calm down.
Yeah. And he gets down on his knees and says, I have an important message. My client, Brock Lesnar, has beat the streak. And he goes on and basically, obviously, he's gaining heat, he's getting people pissed off. What I don't like about it is, we talked about this, obviously, in WrestleMania. I don't like it. I just kind of wish to forget about it, like what the streak ended. They keep bringing it out like week after week. I kind of wish they just go the whole Chris Benoit on this thing, really, to be honest, and just kind of forget about it. Because I don't mind them mentioning it, but obviously to people like big fans of The Undertaker out there, it is shocking. I still don't agree with it. I'd rather not have to hear it every bloody week. I know it's storyline purposes. That's my opinion. Most people might say, what's best for business? Because something big just happened. It's not like the streak's ended. Of course they're going to keep bringing it up. Of course I know that, you know that, everyone else knows that before someone has a bitch at me for saying that. I know that, but in my opinion, I just don't like how they keep mentioning it. Realistically, I just kind of want to move on. And I tend to Smackdown. Oh look, I'm reminded again of what happened. Boo! I'm going to go into the corner, have a bath, probably cry. So
light some candles too.
Light some candles too. Set the mood, and maybe even get some Ben and Jerry's. So so Paul Heyman obviously just says all this shit over and over again, which leads us to Paige versus Oksana, which actually wasn't too bad of a match. Oksana again sporting the attire which basically shows side boob like no tomorrow. Oksana hasn't always been a great wrestler. Considering we both knew that Paige was going over, it was actually a bad match considering they had a good bit of back and forth action. Wasn't over literally within its usual limits of like 4 seconds when it comes to Divas matches, but it was.
Paige screaming her head off every other couple of minutes. It's like, Oh, it's like, okay, love, calm down. Yeah, have a cup of tea. You know, you're British. Have a cup of tea. Yeah.
You know, so maybe she's just figured that she's come on or something. You know, cramps and shit. I don't know, but she makes it sound look quite good actually.
Yeah.
The same as she did like Miss Fox in the last week. Again, so she wins by submission, her own submission hold, which is I don't know if it's got a name. I can't remember what she calls it.
Michael Cole keeps it. It's like an inverted. Crab or something
kind of like a clove, kind of like a sharpshooter, and then kind of pull. It's actually quite a devastating submission hold. Actually.
Yeah, it really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have seen, you know, what got leaked around, not leaked but as a photo, was going to be AJ Lee versus Paige in a submission match at Streamers, which I thought would have been good because obviously they both do submission holds, and obviously Paige does the Paige turn as well. But yeah, that would have been good match to see. So that wasn't a bad match. I'm liking it. It's kind of weird to say that Paige is actually giving me a reason to start caring about Diva matches anymore. So I've got to just I have a real Facebook page, and I feel like maybe like sending her some hate mail on Twitter, like going, damn it, you made me start caring about Diva matches again. You know, so. But so once we move on, you know what, you can comment on the next one because the next one was just like, I can't believe they did this. But you know,
the insanely overhyped Hornswoggle versus El Torito match.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong, I think they did a very respectable match for what was basically just supposed to be a bloody joke. You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't fantastic, but you know what I mean. They put on a good show.
Managers, and they did. They didn't. It wasn't actually that terrible. You think like, oh my god, we're going to go versus Hornswoggle. It's probably just going to be like embarrassing with botches and stuff like that. But
there were botches, but yeah.
Yeah, there were botches, but yeah. Oh, there we go. We have to do a counter how many times that come out. I think that's the 5th one now. So it wasn't too bad. I suppose it was a bit of work, a bit of taunting. Torito basically gets ahead, then Hornswoggle comes back. Supporting 3MB, people wondering why Hornswoggle was in there. Well, you shouldn't really be listening to a podcast if you've not seen Smackdown, to be honest. But yeah, he was supporting 3MB, and so it was back and forth. A few actually moves occurred. Torito again being kind of like athletic as he is, and I think the match ends with wasn't Torito do like a moonsault, wasn't it? A top rope moonsault or something? Yeah. It ends with that. Well, top rope moonsault, good finish actually, and obviously gets the win.
Really?
Which is obviously
the moonsault was impressive, but you know, the camera angle showed they barely hit Hornswoggle. You know, then he had to like kind of roll over. Yeah. It's like, oh yes, there we go. I hit you 1, 2, 3. Kind of
get him in the face. So, but I don't mind seeing sort of things this happen. We might be expected to probably see a rematch probably next week. But fuck it, anything's better than watching hours and hours of Raw recaps on SmackDown like every week. So if we have to see two potentially short people manage to fight it out on SmackDown, fuck it, let's watch that instead of watching Raw again. You know, there we go. I actually put on this, not really too sure why to review this, but they did some good moves with Hornswoggle doing a good running clothesline, and JBL's sarcasm probably during this match was probably the greatest thing ever. I say, oh, this is going to be match of the year. Oh my god, the people are all shocked, like the streak all ending. JBL just went like, thought it was literally like the best thing since sliced bread. you know,
the people are shocked, Michael, look at them, they're in silence, and you just see all the fans looking bored, sat down.
Yeah, just thinking. I was just half expecting a chant like saying, who the fuck cares, or who the hell cares, you know. I was expecting that, but obviously the crowd were respectful, you know. But JBL's, you just got to watch it for JBL sarcastic. If he's being sarcastic, I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine, you know, he'd actually enjoy that. But move on, we see a promo that shows that Alex Rusev, Alexander Rusev, is going to be on SmackDown. I don't think this is for the first time. Is this the first time he's got a match on SmackDown? I think it is, actually.
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, so it comes on. Bad News Barrett basically comes out on this huge tall podium again, basically slags everyone off alike in the L4DDarkVampRaven and Hornswoggle match, and you should all be ashamed of yourselves, and that was bad news on us apparently, and it just goes down. So that was kind of, he usually does good promos supporting Bad News, but that one was kind of a swing and a miss in my opinion. But what do you think? Swing and a miss, or do you think it was alright?
What, the Rusev or the Bad News Barrett promo?
The Bad News Barrett promo.
Oh, sorry, because we went to both of them. Bad News Barrett, yeah, it was like kind of like his old school Onzio just before Christmas, when it was just like, you know, just crap. You know, but if they kept bringing him up like every other match or something, that would have been a laugh. But I think because he's now back on the wrestling roster, they're just making him do them a lot less.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad he's back on the wrestling also. I didn't want to see him just cutting promos for his WWE career. You know, I kind of wanted him to do more. So so we see that, and then obviously we see R-Truth versus Alexander Rusev, which is obviously kind of a build-up match for War because R-Truth attacks him. This was actually R-Truth and Alexander Rusev. There was such good solid work here. There was good solid work between these two. Truth fought back, basically starting out. He basically looks like R-Truth gets the hand with a drop kick, and hits him with everything. Rusev comes back with the super kick.
That was awesome. Man.
The hanging side slam that he does. I thought this match was fantastic. Not fantastic for solid work. If we could have a longer, much better R-Truth Rusev match, then I would probably enjoy that more, because both of them worked their asses off. They were both good workers, and of course he just crushes R-Truth again with the camel clutch. And I don't think Truth even tapped out realistically. I think he hit his leg twice, but the ref just rung the bell. So I don't think he even really tapped out realistically. But so there we go. So again, Rusev showing dominating work. I'm sure he's probably going to end up facing Brodus Clay probably at some point. We haven't seen him in bloody ages either. So, but there we go. Moving on to the tribute of the Ultimate Warrior. Again, they showed a Raw recap. They showed what happened on Raw, which is alright. So,
and the Kane promo.
It was a Kane promo? I didn't write that down.
Right after the Warrior promo, was
there? Well, you can go through this then, because I didn't write that down.
We were just showing a bunch of clips together. I think they showed it on Raw as well.
It was. Yeah, they were showing that.
Well, not old school Kane, but
kind of the old promos, and Kane kind of promoting him really. Kind of like they were kind of putting him over a little bit, and kind of getting people kind of hyped up that what he's probably going to do to Daniel Bryan.
It definitely hyped me up.
Yeah, in both ways, and more than one. But they were showing these kind of Kane promos, which were kind of good, the same kind of promos he did when he first came back with the new mask at the Slammy Awards in 2011 or 2010, I'm not really sure what year. But
I did not watch during those times, but I do my research.
he came back towards at the end. So they show all these cool promos. You can mention the next one, because I've had enough of mentioning these match over and over again. So.
Unfortunately, I've not got much for it either. I mean, all the other things of SmackDown I actually took quite detailed notes on. This basically, I put down Batista versus Sheamus. Batista wins.
Whoa, dude, you just missed a match.
I missed a match?
You missed it. Yeah, we had Fandango versus Santino Marella. We did
right. I purposely didn't take notes for that, because Santino versus fucking Fandango again.
Yeah, exactly. I
was just trying to erase it from history again.
Yeah, no, I don't know why they're doing it. It's just, I feel sorry for Fandango, I really do. So I write again for the 400th time. Normal thing here, back and forth action with moves, and one wins. This time being Santino. I think he did the whole joke of Emma went to do the thing and she had a dead arm from the Cobra and so. Which was
I like that joke.
Funny. Yeah, that was a little bit funny. Yeah, I like to see Emma wrestling properly though. Emma is actually quite a talented girl. I like to see her going on her own, really. At least having single matches against Layla. So what do you think? Now, let's actually have a discussion on this. Who do you think was better, Summer Rae or Layla as his starts partner? Do you think Layla's taken over, or do you miss Summer Rae?
I didn't like Summer Rae to begin with. Just whoever Fandango has to ring, Zam can be. But I suppose I like Layla a bit better, mainly because she's British. So.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe it's just a bit of a bias there, but. And again, I realise I'm talking about the valet of Fandango. I'm like, who do I prefer? I don't know. I don't like Fandango.
Why? He's an alright wrestler.
I'm going on not as a wrestler. I'm just going on purely I just don't like his character.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, I won't comment on his wrestling because he's okay.
He's not bad. Yeah,
he's got the little. I
still want his t-shirt actually. We'll be Fandangoing hopefully in London like he was last year, so that'd be pretty cool. So
after you do that, you can go to the Raw event as well.
I am going to the Raw event.
I know, but never mind.
Yeah. I'm only going to.
motherfucker.
I didn't get. Yeah, I only go to Raw. I'm not going to SmackDown because obviously I don't have like £400 spare, so that's why I'm not going to both. So everyone thinks that when they come to London they should go to both. Well, sorry, I'm only going to one. So there we go. What I was going to say, yeah, I think it's good. Which I'm sure we discussed last time that Summer Rae obviously is probably going on Total Divas. That's why they've kind of relieved her of her duties. Summer Rae I think was quite a good dancer, but I think Layla is holding up as well. It kind of sucks though for Layla's part because she was actually kind of a talented diva, and now obviously they've kind of instead of we getting to see her versus Paige, which probably would have been quite a good match, we now get to see her just basically dance around pretty much every week. So it kind of has a yay and a nay about it in my kind of respect. So yeah, kind of that sucks. So moving on, we see again Kane promos were shown for the show. We see an ad showing that Daniel Bryan will be on Raw this week because he was on his honeymoon last week. That's why we didn't discuss anything Daniel Bryan related. Adam Rose promo shows with the what's he called it? The Sex Express or the Funky Express or something? What's he called it?
Party bus. Yeah.
Party bus. Why did I say Sex Express?
I don't know.
Again,
that isn't something you two are going to be doing like after the podcast. Ugh.
No.
I don't want to be thinking about people having relations.
I think we do actually see a Bo Dallas Believe trailer in there as well, but again, because I don't have really that much interest in Bo Dallas, I didn't really write it down. Hopefully Adam Rose will debate hopefully soon enough, and I'm kind of hoping to expecting a little bit different trailers from him and not just the same bus one, because, you know, he's not a bad wrestler. So we'll move on to the main event, which Mr. Donnelly actually kind of just gave, kind of gave his opinion on it, so
I have nothing more to say. Batista wins.
Yeah. I was going to say the match was pretty shit, to be honest. It could have been quite good. Batista comes out with a spotlight entrance. I think I went to the toilet before he came. I think he comes out with the spotlight, or a very darkened kind of spotlight entrance, which was good. So the match was pretty slow based. It was pretty boring. Again, I don't know, he had some back and forth action between it, again with Sheamus building momentum to keep Batista down. Batista tries obviously to do the Batista bomb, obviously he breaks out of it. Again, more and more action, more and more back and forth stuff. It's quite boring, so I was kind of having a hard time to not stay awake during this match, to be honest. Control basically went towards Batista straight at the end. He knocks him off the rope, flings him on the top rope from the turnbuckle, hits the Batista bomb. Boom, that's it. We don't see any sort of special ending. He just gets to the ring, taunts, and then that's just it. And that's basically how SmackDown ends.
It's a shame, really, because, I mean, as a recent SmackDown's been kind of crap, and this one was okay.
This one was okay,
not particularly great, but it was
not particularly great, and as many as these...
Slightly better than usual, but then again, like, I liked it compared to the last SmackDown, but that's like saying I like getting kicked in the shin more than I like getting kicked in the balls, you know.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Slightly less painful.
I prefer the balls, personally. No, I'm joking, but I mean, as much as we do reviews and podcasts and stuff on SmackDown, we're never going to get a great show. SmackDown, a lot of people I know don't watch SmackDown because they find it boring and stuff. I watch it anyway for the sake of, I'm a WWE fan. I feel like, I want to watch it. I don't feel like I want to just rely on just watching Raw every week just because it's live, just because it has more matches, because it has all the entertainment. We all know SmackDown can't hold. Pardon me, a little bit sick just came on. SmackDown can't obviously hold a candle to Raw's level. We all know that. But it's still okay to watch. It sometimes has some good matches on it, so... But what kills it really is the amount of Raw recaps they show on it sometimes. Sometimes it's just full of Raw recaps. I think there was one on this, they had a Raw recap of the tag team match, the Road Brothers and Wrassle, which I didn't actually mention. And they used to have the annoying The Vault. The Vault used to be shown every week on SmackDown, but there's no more Vault anymore, and that's something I was going to mention. Yeah, you probably weren't, you don't remember that, do you?
No, I definitely wasn't sure when I started watching again.
Yeah, the Vault was all it pretty much was just basically an olden match. They just show they do this thing of a Vault opening, and it'll be an olden style match. It'll be a match from like the 80s of Greg the Hammer Valentine versus Macho Man or whatever, or it'll be like a 2000 1999 match. So that's what it was.
They were really that pressed because they just filled up the 2 hours.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And then it turned into low Raw recaps, so pretty much filled Raw, and you only really see like 3 matches per SmackDown. So that was SmackDown. Overall, this week we had a good Raw, ended with Evolution, and it's going to be interesting to see in a couple of days' time what's going to happen this week. And Daniel Bryan and Kane is building up very well. SmackDown again, can't really say much happened on then. All we really see, well, nothing really happened really. Like, I can't think.
Just the official confirmation of the Shield and Evolution match, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, and probably Rusev having his first match and having quite a good match with R-Truth. Quite a good styled out match with R-Truth. So, and we're coming to Extreme Rules, so we've got 2 matches officially booked for Extreme Rules. I do know one more, but I'm not going to say what it is. We've got obviously Bray Wyatt and Cena in the Cage match, which will probably be alright. And then obviously we've got probably what will be the main event is the Shield versus Evolution, and everyone's going to be looking forward to that match. So Extreme Rules is looking okay. We're not going to talk about that now, but I mean it's going to be box office. But we've got 2 good matches lined up. Raw coming up with Monday. We're going to see hopefully the next. How many matches left in the Continental Title tournament? Is it 3 matches or 4?
Yeah,
was it 2 actually?
Yeah, 3 matches. The semi-finals. So the quarterfinals and 2 quarterfinals. One semi-final match, and that's it.
Yeah. So we got those matches continuing on Raw. We've got Kane on Raw, with Daniel Bryan on Raw, loads of stuff on Raw. Oh my god! So anyway, thank you all you lovely people listening to us on your iPhones, your iPods, your computers, your laptops, watching off your friends, wherever your thing is. Thank you for tuning in again for the second time this week. That's literally all we got to say, and we'll hopefully thinking that Raw Smackdown will be a little bit more interesting next week, but I very much doubt it.
We shall see you next time on Wrasslecast with me, Peter Metalhead.
And me, L4DDarkVampRaven. Remember, follow the buzzers, believe in the Shield, and all that shit.
Anyway, good night.
Good night.